telling me, like, the reason that the art attracted your attention was because you had
a near-death experience. Yeah.
How did that go? Explain that one to me.
Well, like I said, when I was walking on the green, I seen the art to come over. But when I think about it, I was meant to be there, and then had a discussion with yourself, and I said I'd had an experience with near-death experience, and some of the art I think there reminded me of it, you know, and we went into having a conversation for quite a while, and it was like, you know, when we meet people of like mind, things start to flow out, don't they? Yeah, and they come out pretty quick, you know, quick. And I shared some of my experience with yourself about my near death.
Okay, well tell me about that.
Yeah, well, I was in hospital in the early 80s with chronic alcoholism. Yeah, very bad. And this was in the UK, in Liverpool. But I'd had a long history with alcohol at that time. And the experience, I came to a point, I must have been about 33 at the time. And it was a profound experience.
Explain how.
It was a tunnel experience. Yeah.
So what? Were you in bed?
Oh yeah, I was in bed. I mean, in the hospital, it was an old Victorian hospital, right? And they had these big, huge, long wards. And what happened? I'd started at the top of the ward, right? Because I wasn't deemed to be near death's door, right? And then on these long wards, they had like a station with nurses on it. And eventually, I reached that.
You reached the far end, which was
the middle. Yeah,
the middle.
They come to the middle. I reached the middle where the nurse station was, and that meant you were knocking on the door.
Oh, so the closer you were to the nurses, the
nearer you were going out.
Right.
Yeah. And they call it chronic pancreatitis, bear in mind, which is a very serious illness, and they didn't see me recovering from that. And the nearer I got to that post, that was telling them I was ready to go, and they gave me more painkilling stuff. Yeah. And it was then that, I mean, the suffering you have with chronic pancreatitis is horrendous. Yeah. And when you become that ill, everything comes back to you. I mean, the suffering in your life comes back to you, you know. I mean, I've just showed you, these magazines, you haven't looked at them yet. Yeah. And that's where I grew up. Yeah. Which was in the inner city of Dublin. And that wasn't, it wasn't the greatest place to grow up, you know. But it was a tough area to grow up, you know, so it had to be really tough to survive that. When people weren't working, you know what I mean? And I had the habit of taking other things, people's properties, not from there, but if the baker pulled up, which he did outside the flats here, I'd help myself to a loaf or two, yeah? And this is just near O'Collin Street, this place, yeah? So the shops were very handy, you know, to help yourself.
For lifting.
Exactly, yeah. And that becomes prolific as you get older, yeah? And you end up coming into...
So you were basically becoming a thief then?
I was a thief, but I was getting better at it. I was becoming a lifetime thief.
Yes, okay, so you're up near the
I'm not
close to the nurses and closer to death.
Death, yeah. And it just became that bad that I couldn't take it anymore. I'd suffered enough, and I said I surrender. You know, I just gave up. And I said, I want to be out of this world. I don't want it. I can't take it anymore, you know. And at that point, boom, I was gone. Yeah. I went into a tunnel, yeah. And I remember, you see, these things seem to take a long time, but they're very quick, yeah. And it wasn't one of these flashes like people have. A lot of people have near-death experience and they just remember this was profound for me, you know. And I travelled through the tunnel to a place. You see, it's hard to explain because you're going through different phases. You know, you're seeing different things as you're going through the tunnel. And I came to a place of rest, if you like, for me. But I see it now as a state of consciousness. Yeah. And when I got there, it was the best place I wanted to be. Yeah, I just said, this is I'm happy. I want to stay here. Yeah, because that state, it wasn't a place. It wasn't a heaven that I understood. You know, I thought I understood, or a physical place. It was a state of consciousness, and it was just wonderful. You know what I mean? Just to have no pain, no suffering. You know what I mean? And just to be in that state, and you could see everything though. You know, I just had a thought. You could think, and everything would. You know, wherever you wanted to be, you could be. Yeah, but I didn't see a God. I felt the presence. Yeah, in that state, it was just a loving presence, the healing and the loving presence, and to me that was a God, as I understood it. You know, but I was just happy to be there, and I'm saying that's it. I'm okay here. Yeah, but I can think if I want to go somewhere, I only have to think of it, and I can do it. But I was quite happy to stay there. Didn't want to think of going anywhere. But bear in mind, you're leaving your family, and you can actually see all this. I mean, on your journey with near-death experiences, when you go out, yeah, you have an out-of-body experience first, right? I mean, when I said I went, when I died, you go out of your body first before you go into the yeah, and you can see everything around you. You can actually see all what's going on with your family and stuff like that. But I'm in this state of consciousness, and I'm quite happy to be there. And then this thought came into my head, you know, would you not like to help other people? You know, you've had a lot of experience and stuff like that. Would you like to go back? Yeah. I didn't want, you know, I went, hang on a minute, why would I want to go back there? You know what I mean? It's a horrible place to be. And I said, not really. I said, I don't want to go back. Now this is a prompting, because we're told in faith when we're brought up that we have free will, right? And I do believe that. But it sort of started to prick my conscience then. You know, well, you're okay now, you're safe, yeah? And you will be safe, yeah? So you get that reassurance that, well, you could go back and help some. Why wouldn't you want to go back then to help people? You know, and you know, the experiences that you've had through your life, you know, and if you can help them out of suffering, especially your family, you know, and yeah, and it's just, before I knew it, I just said, oh yeah, okay, and I was back.
Just suddenly, just like that, yeah?
Yeah.
As soon as you had that thought,
yeah,
you were back.
And I was back, yeah. But that wasn't the end of it. It was only the beginning of it, right? You're back into your body, right? Bear in mind, I'm in hospital, yeah? And I'm dying, you know, to them I'm dying, you know, but I come back, I'm back in and I'm like...
You're on death's door and you've just been to death, really.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then I'm back in my body and I'm going, what the hell am I doing here, you know? And I start to recover then in the hospital.
So the time that it took for you
it's like seconds or minutes. Ed, you know what I mean?
So all that
thing happens, yeah,
within a few seconds.
Within minutes, yeah.
So what was happening now in the physical then? Like you were in bed. Like did the nurses notice anything?
Well, no. That's what I'm saying. They didn't. You know. No. Otherwise, they would have pronounced you dead.
All right.
That you weren't, you know, moving. But in some cases, no, they weren't meant to see it. You know.
Yeah.
And when I came back, as I say, I started to recuperate a little bit. Yeah. And they were pretty shocked and surprised. You know what I mean? Because the illness was a very serious illness. You know. And then I started saying I didn't want medication. You know, the tablets that they were giving me. But it became it was a profound experience, as you can imagine. But then I said, how do I cope with this? You know, I didn't have, I couldn't explain it, you see, to people. Yeah, because they wouldn't have understood, you know. And the nurses and doctors, you know, that they're a bit
It would
dubious.
It would have been very Christian then, wouldn't it? That would have been a
Well,
Christian.
well, you're frightened.
Yeah.
Frightened to say things, because you end up in a mental institution. And that was always my fear, right? And that became more prevalent as I got better, yeah. And my involvement with psychiatry and that, you know, that if you'd have waffled on about these experiences, you know what I mean, or hang on a minute, you know, and you're put down, you know what I mean, so you could be, message I got, just say nothing, you know what I mean, just recover, yeah. And that's your witness, if you like, yeah. But some people call it different names, you know what I mean, okay, I've a near-death experience, and other people say it's being reborn. Yeah. It's a born-again experience. And that's what it was like for me. It was like a born-again experience. But like a physical thing as well. But that took a long time to sort of develop. The frightening part started to happen then, you know what I mean, because I was seeing everything in a different light, obviously, you know. And
how do you mean in a different light?
Well, I mean, when you've had that experience, you see things totally, you say, what's going on here? You know what I mean? In this planet, everything's upside down.
Yeah, you see life as a completely, like, it's not the story we've been told, as in, you know, you get and do a job and
no, but it's a very cruel place, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not what it should be, you know what I mean? Everyone, you know, it's like the systems we have, you know what I mean? The prisons and stuff like that, which are, in the beginning, it's great, you know what I mean? It's like a new. In the beginning, it's tough because your family don't understand it, right? But eventually, when they do start to understand you a bit more, you know what I mean? That you're not going back on the alcohol and stuff like that, you know, and your life starts to change, and it's better, you know, because my life had changed so profoundly, and people knew it; they could see it, yeah. Because I wasn't doing the things that I'd been doing for that part of my life. And I mean, when you change, I mean, your family think you've lost the plot, you know, because I was acting strange, you know, you can imagine. I'd lock myself in the room and I'd be reading stuff, you know, and I'd done very deep meditation as well, you know, and yeah, so you do become strange, and it's strange for them because they've known you as another person. Yeah.
And was that difficult for your family?
Well, it's very difficult, yeah, because it was very difficult for them and difficult for me. You know what I mean? And I mean, they have to go through their own thing, you know. Yeah, I don't know whether my wife seen me, you know, but they think you're going mad in the beginning, and then when you start talking sense, you know.
Yeah, that can be revealing, I suppose.
Well, it is for them. It's like, hang on a minute, this fella's making sense. You know what I mean? And he's not doing what he used to do. Yeah. You know. Yeah. But that, as I say, takes time, because when you go into a program like AA, there's lots of other people that are struggling when they go in now. It becomes about trust. You have to start to trust you again. You know. Like I say, even though you've had that experience, but when you come back here, it's a challenge of life then, you know what I mean? And all this is opening up to you, you know, so I always felt that there's guides as well, you know. You have to have a guide, you know, to guide you through. But then when it does get really tough, I used to just think of being back in that place.
All right, so you're able to use that as a...
Yeah, but that's, I mean, I need to, yeah, I think I need to be back there, you know?
Right.
When I came out of that, I did get involved with AA.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did that go?
Well, that went, I mean, that was the best program I ever got involved in with AA. I mean, I went into rehab then when I came out of that experience, because it was alcohol. I needed to know about the alcohol and the damage that it done and stuff like that. And I mean, I found the AA fellowship amazing in the early days. Yeah, when I went to I joined AA, right? And I said, I couldn't read the book at the time, but this all came to me. Yeah, all this stuff was open to me. The thing I was saying, well, when you come back and you have an experience like that, you say, okay, I've come back, now what do I do? Right? So you get the message. Yeah, this is what you do. Yeah. So there is like a guiding force, right? That directs you. The 12-step program believes in a higher power. Yeah. So you don't have to believe in a higher power. You know, that's up to yourself. But to me, it was a higher power. And the program of 12 steps was amazing. And once you've done them, you got the message. But I'd already had the experience. In the 12 steps, it says, in step 11 and 12, you'll have a spiritual experience. But I'd had that.
Yeah.
And then you've got to, I mean, that helped with the AA program was about making amends. And to make amends to people that you can make amends to. But a lot of them have died, so you just have to do that in a different way, you know. So, yeah, you ask for forgiveness from them, you know. There is this thing about, as I said, the making amends, and people think, oh, asking forgiveness is weak and all that. No, it's not. It's strong. You know, you become strong.
You have to be brave to forgive people.
Well, yeah, well, that's right. But like you say, you have to be brave to say you're wrong as well.
Yeah.
And ask people to say you're sorry.
Yeah, to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big...
Yeah, that's a big one. You know, people can't ask for forgiveness, you know. They just... But when you've had these experiences, I don't find it a problem.
Yeah.
You know, because it's easier. Not easier, but that's the way you need to do it, you know. Bear in mind, I'm a chronic alcoholic. Yeah? No, that's been taken away. So what do I do? You know what I mean?
All right, so now you realise you can't go back to the drink.
I can't go back to drink. You know what I mean? That's been taken away, right? Because you know, if I want to get well, I have to stop. The drink is the main thing, you know. But I said I was drawn into a drug scenario, right? Because a lot of the pubs that I drank in, a lot of people smoked hash and stuff like that, yeah, and took other substance. And with my background, my family being buyers and sellers and all that, now it didn't stop me from doing that.
Yeah.
But I felt I was drawn back into that. And then it was only a number of years later, only 10 years later, yeah, after this experience, that I realised why all this happened. Yeah? Why I went into this drug scenario and getting mixed up with all this carry on, you know. And well, maybe I'm trying to justify it, you know what I mean? But this is the way it is, you know. I've done it. I'm not proud I've done it, but I had the experience of doing it. Yeah, I didn't have anyone there to guide me through it. You know, if you have a born again experience, in some places you'll have the church or something to guide you. Yeah, but I was frightened to go down that road. Yeah, so I started to, I'd say, take cannabis first as something to calm me down, because you can imagine coming from that type of space, yeah, that you know, your mind, your brain, and so it can be racing, you know, and as I say, the cannabis I went into, and the other thing, I mean, I brought cannabis back to Ireland in the 80s, but there wasn't a lot, right? So my justification for that was that it was good for me, because I didn't go back to the drink. I'd use it all day, actually, you know, and that wasn't good either. That's abuse, yeah. So I went through all these, and then I started using other substances along with them. But this is strange. People might think it's off the wall or whatever they did. Well, when I came back, right, and I went into taking the cannabis and other substances as well, right, I'd had other experiences, right, and these were even more profound, but I was able to handle them. Do you understand? Because I knew these were experiences that I needed to have, right? And one of the main ones was having a recall, right? You're brought into a room, right? It's just like we're sitting here now, yeah? Although there wasn't another person there, there was only me, right? So you're brought into a room, right, and you're sat down on a chair and you're shown a video of your life.
All right.
And every single thing that happened in your life. And I do believe that there's a record of your life. Everyone has a record. Yeah? There's a record of what everyone does on this planet. Yeah? And the whole thing is stored up. Yeah? It's a massive consciousness thing for me. Yeah? And I've since, as I say, I've read a lot about this stuff, but people say, oh, well, you might have read about it before. Well, I couldn't have done because I couldn't read.
Yeah, fair point.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, no, it's experience that you have, and then it's when you have the experience, it's like, what is it? It's verifying it. Yeah, that the other people have had these experiences, you know. And there's lots of people with psychic powers and stuff like that have had different experiences of the spirits and stuff like that. But that recall thing was very, it was profound. And it was like, mother of God, did I do all that stuff? You know? And when I came after the 10 years of that drug abuse, if you like, because that's what it was, I stopped. But the funny thing is, I knew I was going to stop.
Okay.
With all the drugs I took, I knew I wasn't going to die because I'd already had that experience, yeah?
All right, because you had the near-death experience, you knew you were going to survive death anyway.
Yeah, well, people do survive death, but you need to. Because I feel now, and I've shared it with a few people, I believe you never die, right? You go into different states of consciousness, right? But it depends on how you leave this world to the state of consciousness that you go into.
All right. So then, based on how you are, how you feel at the time of your death, is basically
where you go. That's my belief. Yeah.
Well, and that's your experience as well.
Yeah, that's my experience. That's right. But because people say, well, okay, if you died and you had all that negative experience at the time, right? Well, there's a time, as you say, do you reckon when you're on your deathbed or you're ready to move, then if you need to be professing, yeah?
How do you mean, like confessing? Or?
Well, it's like, I wouldn't use the word confessing, but professing the wrongs you've done. Right?
Yeah.
It's like saying, I'm on the bed and I'm saying, because when I say I didn't believe in a God, I do believe in something greater, right? And it's like saying, yeah, I'm sorry for the things I've done. Yeah, I'm sorry if I've hurt people, all that type of thing, which I was, and I generally meant that. Yeah. So you're going through that. It's like cleaning you up. Yeah. On your deathbed before you go. Yeah, before you're transferred to that other level of consciousness. And that's the way I seen it, you know. But I had to come back and clean a lot of other stuff up. Right? Yeah. It's like I believe you can do it in your mind, but then a lot of the times you have to, if you're lucky enough to give the opportunity to come back, you have to do it physically.
Yeah.
It's making amends.
Right. So then what would you say then, John, to people who, about that? Like, what is it, or is it not?
Well, it's, for me, everyone's on the journey here, right? And they have it's a journey for them, I don't believe in death. I mean, you don't die, you move on, you progress. And
okay, right, just on that point, just for people who are afraid of death, like what can you say?
Don't be afraid of it.
Why not?
Face up to it. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think will happen then when you die? Like, it's like this physical body that you...
But this physical body, look, it's just a vehicle, isn't it? It just carries you through. All the philosophies teach us that. Yeah. Whether it be Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, that this physical body is just to carry us through. We're spiritual beings, my view, We're all spiritual beings. You have some atheists don't believe that, but there's very few of them anyway. Yeah. And, but, no, I believe we're all spiritual beings, yet we're here on this planet to learn lessons, yeah, on why we're here. I mean, the first questions people should be asking themselves: what am I doing here? What's my reason for being here? So, yeah, to me, the thing of death, you're not going to die. You're going to move over. But I say, I'm living in a place now where they say, I don't like to say I'm old, right? I just like to say I'm maturing, yeah? Don't see it. You don't get old, you mature, yeah? And I was talking to some of these people, and some of them would have been a little bit older than me, and they were saying, well, what do you think? I said, look, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
And if you're not, then get your bloody self ready.